There we go. Yeah, so today, welcome back. We're going to work on our Brick Breaker game some more. We'll work on it in 2 weeks' time as well. If you haven't handed in your assignment 2, don't worry about that. Keep working on that as well. Got lots of time. Today's Relay for Life at Saunders. I think there's food trucks there tonight, so check that out if you want. I'm sure it'll be kind of fun to see people. And that's my announcements for today. Let's add a brick class to our project now. Okay, so the way we were doing that was we were going File, New, and we would do just a file. What would it look like? File, New, File. Why don't I remember it looking like that? Empty file, sorry. Empty file, yeah, that makes sense. Do you want to add this file to your project? Yep, we do. And we're going to call it brick.cpp. Let's say. The brick's not going to have nearly as much code to it because it's just going to be stationary. Maybe if we add some power-ups later and the brick falls down or floats away or does something crazy, we can add more code to it as we see fit, but for now we'd probably just copy and paste all of the paddle code because they're both boxes, right? Let's grab this entire file. This will save us some time, I'm sure. Hit copy and go into brick and hit paste because they're both squares and everything. I guess we'll change this word to brick. And we'll change this word to brick. Remember, this is just stopping our program from adding this file more than once. We'll change this word to brick. We'll change the constructor's name to brick. Well, that's good. We could leave it as a kinematic body if we wanted. Maybe later on we'll make the brick move. Everything else here is the same. It's just a box duty box, so that's all good. Set size, set origin. I don't think we need to set a velocity on our brick though, right? And we definitely don't want to set a velocity. And then we just have our B2 body, which is how it talks to the physics world. And that's our brick class right there. Real easy one. Save. Just gonna run it and see if there's any errors or anything. Doesn't seem to complain there, so that's good. I got my ball bouncing nicely from yesterday. Boom, boom, boom. Happy with that.
That's not horrible or something like that.
Okay, cool. That's it.
That's not cool. I don't like this one.
Let's add one brick into our program just to make sure to see what it does. Okay. We'll say brick. And we will just give it the name bricks or something like that. It's got that constructor built into it because when I made it I copied the same one as the paddle, so I gotta enter in that info there. And let me just see what it auto types again. It's looking for a world. I have one. It's looking for an X and a Y. I'll put it near the top of the screen, maybe at like 40 pixels and 40 pixels. It's looking for a width and a height. I'll say 60 for the width and 20 for the height. Probably be okay. And I have an update position command, which is what draws it. Okay. Okay. So if I run this, it won't draw it. Oh, yes, I made a brick structure, but I did not include it in my main, so it's never heard of it. Include. When you make your own files, you always put them in quotes, and when you use C++, you always put them in arrows. That's a convention. I think it works either way. If I put arrows here, I think it would probably work. I'm not going to test it right now, but it's kind of to let someone else know that you made these three, you know, and that these were made by the C++ developers. All right, there's my brick. It's heard of it now. It's happy. It's actually in the world. It's just not drawing. So if I hit it, I could probably see the ball bounce off of it. It's up in the top corner, so let's see. Yep, it hit it. It's nice that I can aim the ball now. See, it's hitting the brick. The brick is there. I'm not drawing, and it is in the. I placed it in the world, so Box2D is dealing with it for me. I just need a. I just need a bricks dot update position, and that should take care of it. It also needs the name of my window. So there we go. Now I'll have a brick. It's a nice looking one. There you go. And if I hit it, it'll bounce off. Boom. Boom. There you go. Cool. I'm still C-outing something, but I'm okay with that. The ball's moving kind of slow, so we could speed that up if we wanted to. The way we would do that is this number here, right? 250. And we just go 350. That was the speed we gave it. Was it a speed? Yeah, now it's a little faster. It's a little more. A little more dynamic now. And there we go. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay, so let's make a bunch of these bricks and then delete them if they get hit. I'll show you how to do that. That's our goal for today. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make a vector of bricks instead of just one at a time. Bricks. So what we'll do is, instead of writing bricks like this, let's comment that one out. We will make a vector of them. Vector. That's the smart array, right? What's the type we want to use? We want to use the type brick that we just made, and we'll give it the name bricks. There we go. Okay. So not only did we make our own type, our own variable type, but we can actually make a vector of them. C++ will allow us to do that, no problem. And for now, maybe I'll just make one top row or something. So I'm going to make, I'm going to try to start with maybe 10 bricks here. So I'll make a for loop that goes from 0 to 10, or 0 to 9, right? And I will say bricks dot push back, and when I need to push it back, I actually need to push back a brick, and then I can give it the constructor. So I'll type world, I'll type x. For now, what did I say x was? It's going to start at 40, right? And y was 40, and the width was 60, and the height was 20. The only problem is it'll draw 10 bricks on top of each other. So to spread those out, what I might do is take advantage of the fact that this for loop is counting from 0 to 9, And for my x, I'll maybe say 40 plus I, which is going to count from 0 to 9, times maybe like 80, because they're 60 wide. So that'll kind of keep them, well, maybe 70, 10 pixels apart, maybe 20 pixels apart. Let's have a look. Oh, it doesn't like this anymore, because it's not in a for loop. Okay. It's not going to let me just go bricks.update position, because bricks is now a list of bricks. So I actually have to go through all of my bricks. For int I equals 0. Now, it'd be nice to just say I is less than 10, but I'm going to be changing my brick size throughout my project. Every time I hit one, I got to delete one. So I could have 10, I could have 7, I could have 0, whatever. So I'm actually going to go bricks dot size. That way, I'm dynamically keeping track of them all. And then here, I'll go bricks I dot update position. The command, and then window. Yeah. So now it'll update the position on all my bricks every frame. Let me see how it draws that. Hey, that looks great. And oh no, this is bad when your brick goes like that. Sometimes it can go completely horizontal and you have no way of like. That's okay. There's going to be a few glitches in here for sure, right? It's not a AAA game. There's ways around it. You could test if the brick, like what the angle of the ball is. If it's ever kind of close to 180 or minus 180, you could give it a little bump in the up or down direction or something. That's for another day. Oh, okay, there we go. If you don't like the colors, you could also go like this. You could go bricks dot back dot set fill color, because it is just a and then you could pick any color you wanted. What color do I like? Cyan. Yeah, now they'll all be blue. Yep.
Is that the roof this on this kind of one?
Cool. There you go. All right. What we want to do though is we want to see if we're hitting any of the bricks and deleting them. So let's do that. We should probably go to our ball code, because we already have a check collision function here, right? So we should make another one that checks the collision. So this was collision between paddle and ball. And I'm just going to copy this code. You can give functions the exact same name as long as they have different inputs. So if I copy this one, right, and instead I put brick here, brick, and I guess I could call this just B1, whatever name I want, okay? I can have two of the exact same function names, but if I pass it a paddle, it knows to use this one, and if I pass it a brick, it knows to use that one. Collision between brick and ball. Okay. I don't have P1 anymore. I called it B1, so I'll change that to B1. Body's fine there. The other thing I don't need is any of this code. This was the code that bounced the ball off the paddle, so I don't need that, right? I'm not doing any bouncing. This would be really weird if I kept this in here. Whenever I hit a brick, my ball would bounce really weird. So it's just a very standard check collision function. The same one I probably have in physics.h. Just copied and pasted the code. check collision, yeah, there it is. Stole it from there. Okay, so yeah, I put that in my ball instead of my brick code. It probably won't run though, because it will not have heard of this word brick, and that's probably because I didn't include it here. Let's see if it gives me an error. Yeah. Request for member body in B1, which is brick does not name a type. There you go. So it doesn't like that brick does not name a type, so we'll just go here and include it. And we're sort of glad now that we've added these little header guards, right? Because we've included brick inside paddle, and paddle inside brick, and brick inside, and it would just be a nasty little loop of includes and weird stuff going on. Let's see if that runs. Yeah, it does. Good, good, good. Okay, happy with that. Now, we just have to check if they smack into each other and delete them. So let's do that. Here we go. We'll do it in here. Okay. We'll actually probably do it right before. We'll do it in this loop. Okay. We'll call it our little brick loop. We'll just check if they hit. So we'll say if our ball is called B1. Probably give it a better name than that, but whatevs. If B1.checkCollision, now I have two of them. You can see one takes a brick and one takes a paddle. Doesn't matter which one I pick there, as long as I type in a brick here. So it's looking for a brick, so I'm going to type bricks I, because that's the whatever brick I'm on. It's going to go through all 10 bricks every frame. If that's true, if they hit, then I can just go, I can delete that brick. Okay. And the way you do it is you go bricks. It's kind of an awkward way to delete it. You hit the word erase like that. It's a vector function. And it'd be nice if you just type I to erase it. But that's not quite how it works. You actually have to say bricks.begin plus I. I don't know if you remember that from grade 11. It needs the memory address of the first brick, and then you add 9 or 8 or 10, whatever one you want to erase. Okay, so check this out. It should delete the brick itself off the screen. There it goes. But it won't have deleted the brick from my physics world, which is an issue. Watch, it's still there. You see that? So it's gotten it out of the list. I'm surprised it hasn't crashed yet. It is erasing them from my vector for sure, but it has not been told to take them out of the physics world yet. And the physics world, remember, if this, oh, there, finally crashed. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky. We should actually erase it out of the physics world first, and then erase it from the vector. If we don't do that, we're going to get eventually to a situation where it asks to look at a brick that doesn't exist, and then explodes. You get all kinds of weird messages. So how do we delete a brick from the physics world? Let's go to physics.h and see how they do it. I think there's a delete block command here. Here it is right here. Okay. Apparently, and we don't need this set user data thing, but apparently the only command to delete a just you can write on the back of anything. Apparently all we need is this command, world.destroy, and then it just needs the body that we want to destroy. Okay, so we'll go back to our main. We'll go world.destroy body. And we need to do it before we erase it from the vector, because we actually need to get a hold of the body of the one that we're about to delete. And if we delete it from the vector, we won't have its name. We won't have access to its body. So we do have access to its body like this. So I'm going to take bricks I, whatever brick I want to delete, and hit dot body. Okay, because it's looking for the body of the brick I want to delete. And I have a variable that keeps track of the physics body in every brick that I make. It's right here. I call it body. So that should erase any brick I have. Erase brick. Hopefully this works. I could see maybe an issue with bricks.size changing on the fly and trying to maybe update something that doesn't exist, but I think it'll probably work. I think it'll delete it from the world and delete it from my list of vectors. Hopefully. Bam. Let's try to... So now, like, all instances of that brick are gone. Yep. We're starting to go. It's gone. Simple, eh? It's like pretty crazy that... Oh no! Why does that happen? I did tease that was going to happen. I think it happens if you hit the last brick. Let's see. The last brick in the list, because it deletes it, but then it doesn't like exit it. Let's try. Let's see. Let me try to hit that last brick. It deletes it, but now the size of the list is no longer what it should be. Let's see. Crash! It hits the last brick in the list. I wonder if I just break out of this code, if that fixes it. Let me try. What does break do? Quits out of the list. Oh, now it's flashing. I don't like that. Don't put that there. We need to find a way. We need to find a way to protect ourselves from this happening. So what's happening is, let's say I delete a brick, right? Let's say I delete... Yeah, you can make an extra one and put it off the screen for sure. It's kind of like a brute force fix. There's all kinds of like little memory leak issues you have to worry about all the time, especially when you're kind of making your own stuff, and especially using Box2D as well. So what's happening is I have 10 bricks, right? And so let's say I hit the very last one and the brick size is 10. So I'm on the 9th brick, the 0 is the first one. I go to update the position. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put my update position before I erase it. I think that'll probably fix it. I think what it was trying to do, maybe this should be the last line in my for loop, okay? Because there's a potential it could try to access a brick that no longer exists if I delete it and then put code that tries to access these bricks. So if I put any code I need before I erase it, then I'll never try to access this after I've erased it, and the brick size should update once it deletes the bricks and everything. So I think that's maybe, hopefully, the way to fix that issue.
The dog.
Okay. It's still kind of blinky, isn't it? I don't like that it blinks like that. It's doing weird stuff. I wonder why it blinks. It has to do with the way it's updating its position. It's kind of redrawing. It's fine though. Interesting.
Oh. Bed. Okay, let's spill.
The one beside it always
Bill.
blinks a little bit. You see
Hi,
that?
Bill.
It looks like it gets shoved over almost.
Bill. Now, ready for my cookie.
I'm okay with it for now. It is working. I think what's happening is, let's say I delete the 7th brick, then the 6th one, the one to the left of it, becomes like basically replaces it because I'm kind of just pulling bricks out of this vector. So every time I pull one out, like let's say I pull the 6th one out, then the 5th one becomes the 6th one, and so on and so forth. And so it looks like it's kind of redrawing the one to the right a little bit, but yeah, see that? That's why it blinks a little bit. It's kind of like drawing itself on top of itself or something. But that's okay for now. We'll accept that for now. I'll maybe try to find a way to fix that, but right now we are deleting bricks. It looks like it's working fine. So that's what I wanted to cover today. I'm happy with that. Yesterday, our whole street lost the internet for like 6 hours yesterday, starting at 11, so I couldn't do anything really. And Peter couldn't do his school either, and we're just kind of stuck at home here. So today I'll look over your emails that I got, and yeah, keep working on your projects, and if you need help, I'll be around for sure. So that's all we're going to talk about today. Yeah. Try to get some bricks going. Grayson needs help. Maybe I'll help you right now, Grayson. Hold on. You still on here, Grayson?